My name is Dr. Matt with Reliving Performance Physical Therapy. Today we're going to be talking about climber's elbow. Really what it is just an overuse injury of those forearm muscles. Makes sense with climbing, we're using those muscles all the time, right? So really what we want to go over today is a couple of tips and tricks that we can use that will help kind of get you out of pain and keep you out of pain to get back on the wall as quickly as possible. Really there's two different phases that we're going through. One is kind of getting out of pain, and two is rebuilding the strength of those muscles. And that's what really gets you set up long-term to not be dealing with this issue going forward. So the first exercise we're gonna go over is just a simple stretch for those forearm muscles. So all you're gonna do is take your wrist, palm's gonna be up towards the ceiling, bend it backwards so you might already start to feel a stretch in your forearm there. From there, you can either hold that stretch for 30 seconds or you can move your elbow into full extension and then pull it back out. As you go into full extension, you tend to get a bigger pull in those forearm muscles. So if it's too aggressive, just start it with your elbow bent. And then as it gets more comfortable and less painful, you can work with moving through a fuller range of motion there. Next, a good way to start strengthening those forearm muscles is using one of the wrist rollers that we have at the gym. Palms are going to be up towards the ceiling with the rope facing away from you to start when we're talking about the wrist flexors. So then once you're there, start with your wrist down in that extension position and nice and slowly roll one palm up towards the ceiling as far as you can go. The goal is to control the motion through your wrist without throwing your elbows or your upper body into it. And then once you get the weight all the way to the top, you just go through the opposite motion of slowly letting your wrist extend one by one. Get a little bit more stretch through those muscles while still working them at the same time. Another option for this is to use one of the resistance bands and tie it to the side of a squat rack or a pole that's not going to move, and you get a little bit more consistent resistance through that whole motion there, both of which are going to work on strengthening those muscles. Similar to the wrist roller, using a resistance band will help work those same forearm muscles, just with a little bit more consistent resistance in different positions. So band's going to be attached to something that's not going to move, like a squat rack or a big pole. Arm's going to be in line with your body with your wrist in extension, and then all you're going to do, keep a nice firm grip on the band and then just slowly curl your wrist in and then control it on the way back. A trick here is once you're flexed forward, don't let your wrist just snap backwards, but control it through the whole range of motion and get a nice slow burn in those forearm muscles.